You get 10 minus 7 minus 5. 10 minus 7 is 3.
Oh, I messed up. Yeah,
Okay.
it's -4, I think.
3 minus 5. So this is one of the, we were looking at this last time. It's good that we're going to have some time to work on this. There's two cases for adding and subtracting. The answer here is actually -2. So let me
Yeah.
review those with you. So there's two cases that you have to remember. The first is if the numbers are same sign. Okay. And what do I mean by that? Well, like 3 plus 4. Okay. You know what 3 plus 4 is, right?
Yeah.
7. Okay. But why? Why is it 7? Well, both of these numbers are positive. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So since they're both positive, you keep the sign. So the first thing is you keep the sign when they're same sign.
Yeah.
Then you add the numbers without the signs. So instead of looking at it as like +3 and +4, you look at it as 3 and 4, and you add them together. Okay, and this seems silly because you're like, look, I know the answer. I know that it's that. I know that it's 7. Well, what if it's -5 minus 2? Okay. Now these are both negative. Okay. That subtraction
Positive.
operator, when it goes with the other number, they're both negative. So these are same sign again. So since they're same sign, you keep the sign. You keep the sign. It has to be negative, and then you add the numbers without the sign. Okay. 5 plus 2 is 7. So the result here is -7. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so this is this, and the other way this could look here would be something like this, like -3 plus -6. Okay. These are same sign. They're both
Yeah.
negative. You
Yeah.
keep the sign. You keep the sign. You know, they got to kind of get that, get that the same. So it's negative, and then you add the numbers without the sign. Okay. So you say, okay, I'm going to treat them both positive, which is -9. Okay.
Yeah.
Now this is the one
Okay.
that most students know really well. And I think you probably know this. But here's the other possibility: opposite in sign. Okay.
Okay.
So the first thing you do is you have to determine the sign. You have to determine whether it's positive or negative. All right.
Okay.
So let's look at a simple example: 7 minus 3. Now you know the answer is 4. Okay. But
Yeah.
why is it 4? Why is it +4? Well, the reason it's +4, how you determine the sign, you ask yourself which number is bigger, which number is further from 0. 7 further from 0
7.
or -3 further from 0?
Oh,
It's 7, right?
7. Yeah.
So it's positive. It's positive because 7 is really positive, even though we don't write positive there. Okay. So 7 minus 3 equals 4. The second thing you do here is you subtract, okay, without
Yeah.
the signs. But an important thing here is that you take the larger and subtract the smaller. So like we know
Okay.
this is positive, but you take the 7 and subtract the 3, which becomes +4. Okay. And
Okay.
you know this, but
Yeah.
if you when you get a problem you don't know, you have to follow the recipe here. So let's look at another one. Let's say it's 5 minus 8. Okay. So these are opposite in sign because 5 is positive and 8 is negative.
Yes.
5 is positive, 8 is negative. So you have to first determine the sign. Which is further from 0, 5 or -8?
-8.
Okay, so we know the answer is negative. Then you take the larger number without the sign and subtract the smaller number. So you don't have to write this, but you have to think it. You have to say, okay, it's 8 minus 5, which is 3, and then it's negative.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, so let's look at another one. Let's say it's -6 plus 4. Okay. So again, which is further from 0, the -6 or the 4?
Then -6.
So we know the answer is negative. Then you take the larger and subtract the smaller without the sign. So you have to remember these two cases. You have to say, okay, I'm really comfortable with the idea that yeah, this becomes -2. Eventually you just do this without writing all this out, but for now you may have to do it in this order. It's a very simple algorithm. You determine the sign, subtract the larger and the smaller. You don't have to do them in this order. You can take the larger and subtract the smaller and then determine the sign, but you got to get this down. Like this is super critical to be able to figure out and of course here. So let's just say it's like a -2 plus 6. Is that positive or negative?
Negative.
Which is further from 0 though, the -2
Oh,
or the +6?
the +6.
So
So
we
it
know the
would be
answer
a
is
positive.
positive, and then you take the
Oh,
larger and subtract the smaller.
okay. Because I learned it like negative and a positive equals a negative.
Not
Like,
always. Not always. It
um,
depends on which is further from 0.
okay.
So it's like some things work sometimes, and the way I'm showing you works all the time.
Okay.
What you said is true if the negative is further from 0. -6 plus 4 is a negative. Now maybe
Yeah.
you're thinking about multiplication, but that's um, you
Okay.
got a different set of rules here. So what I'd like you to do is here now is just give you 4 exercises to see if you could kind of dial this in here.
Okay.
Let's go 3 minus 6, or -4 plus 2, 5 minus 5 minus 2, and 3 minus 1.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and work those out. Let me know what you come up with.
Okay. Quick question. So do you always add the numbers together, or
No,
is
you
it
have to decide so to do these 4 exercises, and I'm glad you're asking that because I guess it still isn't clear. Your first thing that you're doing is you're deciding, are they same sign
okay?
or are they opposite in sign?
Okay. So they're opposite for the first one. So
Yes, the first one is opposite in sign, same sign, opposite in sign. And so then
so
you would go back to the rules we talked about to try to work through a few of these.
okay. Next, sorry. What is negative? Mm, oh, okay. I think I did them right.
Okay, give me your answers for each of them, please.
For the first one, I got -3.
Okay.
And for the second one, I got -6.
Okay.
And then for the third one, I got -3. And then for the fourth one, I got 2.
So unfortunately, a couple the 2 here are not correct. When they are opposite in sign, okay, you first
Mm-hmm.
determine whether it's positive or negative. It is negative, that's true. Then you take the larger and subtract the smaller.
I'm confused because if it's a plus sign, then I thought you were supposed to add it.
You do, but I'm trying to give you there's two possibilities here. They're either the numbers are same sign and here are the steps, or they're opposite in sign and here are the steps.
Okay.
So looks like we just need to go back and do some more practice. Let's just do that. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to step you through a few problems here. So I'm getting the problem here, getting the issue. So let's go -7 plus 2.
Okay.
Okay, first of all, are these same sign or opposite in sign?
Opposite.
They're opposite in sign. So the first step is to determine the sign. Is the answer positive or negative, and why?
It's negative because 7 is further from 0.
That's right. Now you take the larger number and subtract the smaller. So
So
which is
7 minus
larger?
2.
7 minus
7.
2. Okay. So what does this become?
5. -5.
-5, yes. Now what I was trying to say is eventually you'll just do this.
Okay.
Okay. So let's try another one here. -3 plus 6. Okay.
Okay.
Is the answer positive or negative? I'm sorry. Well, first of all, are these same sign or opposite sign?
Opposite.
Opposite. So which is the answer, positive or negative, and why?
Positive because 6 is further from 0.
Okay, and then you take the larger and subtract the smaller.
Okay. So -3. Oh, 3. Never mind. Just 3.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Good. Okay. Let's take a look at another one. -2 minus a minus. Well, let's not do that yet. Let's go. Let's do another one here. 4 minus 8. So are these same sign or opposite in sign?
Opposite.
Yes. This one's positive. This one's negative.
Yeah.
What is the result? Is it positive or negative?
Negative.
Okay, and then you take the larger and subtract the smaller.
Okay.
What does this become?
-4.
Good. All right. Now let's go look at some that are same sign.
Okay.
What is 5 plus 2?
+7.
Positive 7. Like, it's silly to even ask this, right? But let's look at it through the lens of what we're supposed to do.
Okay.
These are same sign, so we know the answer is positive.
Yes.
Then you add the numbers together.
If they were two
Okay.
negatives, would it be a positive since they're the same size? Same sign?
You keep the sign when they're the same sign. So if
Okay.
it were -3 plus
Okay.
-6, they are both negatives. The answer must be negative. Then you add the numbers without the sign.
Okay.
So that becomes -9-ish.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the other way this could appear could be something like -4 minus 2. These are both negative, so your answer is
Negative.
negative. And then you add the numbers without the sign,
Why do you add?
because they're same sign. These are all same sign.
Okay, so anytime it's the same sign, you add it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't matter if they're both positive or they're both negative, you add. Okay. So this becomes -6.
Okay.
So that's why the first thing you have to do when you're looking at a problem is decide, are they same sign? Because then you end up adding, or are they opposite sign? But then you end up subtracting.
Okay.
Right. So we'll just try 2 problems here. Let's go -3 minus 4, -4 plus 3.
Okay.
Go ahead and see if you can work these out, please.
Okay. And -4 plus 3. Same sign. Okay. For the first one, I got -7, and for the second one, I got -1.
Good. Okay, so let me put a few more in front of you to try. Doesn't mean you're going to have it fully down today. It just means we're going to keep working on this until you get it.
Okay. For the first one I got, oh, I didn't, okay, never mind. I didn't see the rest. Hold on 1 second. -3. Okay. I have a question on the last one.
Sure.
-3 plus 3. So they're both since they're both 3s, both of them are the equal amount away from a 0. So
Okay.
what sign would it be?
It's a good question. So sometimes it's good to think about this in terms of money. You have $3 and then you take away $3. How much do you have left over?
0.
0. So when they're exactly opposite in sign, it's 0.
Okay, so it doesn't
Good.
matter what the sign is, like there's no sign around it, it's just
Yeah, I
0?
mean, if it's 4 minus 4 or it's minus 7 plus 7, it's always 0.
Okay. So for the first one, I got 3. For the second one, I got -4. For the third one, I got -6. And then for
Good.
the last one, I got 0.
Good. Okay. So now let's go back to PEMDAS and work a few problems here. Keeping in mind what you just said, we're going to work just on addition and subtraction. We'll move into addition and subtraction here. All right. So here's a problem for you to try. And again, you kind of look at it one grouping out of numbers at a time. So you look at that
Okay.
part, work it out, then we bring the rest down. So give that a
Okay.
try. See what you come up with.
Okay. So this is 1 minus 3 opposites, so 2 and then this negative. I got -1.
Let's take a look here. So we got 1 minus 4 plus 6. This is
Oh, I did
minus
it wrong.
3.
Oh,
What do you think happened here? What went?
so what I did was I made a group with the -2 and the +3, and then what I did was I made another group with the -4 plus 6, and
Okay, so
I didn't do one by one.
all right. Yeah, you got to do it left to right, doing this, then you subtract.
Okay, I got it now. I think.
Should get 3. Should be 3.
Okay.
All right, so let me give you another one here. It's okay. We're practicing. We're doing this
Okay.
to learn how to get this right. So let's go -3 minus 2 plus 6 minus 5.
Okay. Plus 6 minus 5, and then left to right. It's left to right, right?
It's always left to right
Okay.
when you have the same sign. We'll get into
Yeah.
more complicated stuff when we need to.
Okay. So opposite, and then that's why there's a positive. 5. Okay, I got -4.
Okay, let's take a look here. So -3 minus 2 is -5. And then you just bring the next stuff down. See, I'm just bringing it down each time. And I'm using this to sort of indicate which one I'm working on. Eventually, you won't need to do that. -5 plus 6 is 1. -5 is -4. Very good. Let's try just one more, maybe 1 or 2 more, and then we'll have
Okay.
your sister jump on here. So let's go -7 plus 3 -7 plus 3. Let me try
Okay.
that.
Minus 4. So plus 3 plus 3. Opposite. So 0. I got 0.
Right. So let's take a look here. What is -7 plus 3?
-7. Wait, -4.
Okay,
-7.
so we'll bring the
Yeah.
next part down. So now
Yeah.
-4 -7, they're same sign,
Yeah.
same sign. So you add them, right?
Yeah.
What is the result of that?
Oh, dang it. I messed up. Okay.
That's okay.
11.
-11 plus 3. Now they're opposite in sign.
Yeah, so you subtract.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, good job. We're gonna go, you and I are gonna go ahead and stop there for today.